Hello everyone and welcome to another movie review. So if you are new to this channel, feel free to hit the subscribe button below, click like and share. So today I am doing a movie review for the Netflix film, The Next 365 Days. So I started doing movie reviews during the beginning of the summer season, which was late June. So prior to me doing movie reviews, they released a film titled 365 Days, which was based on a novel by the same name. And that was 2 years ago. So when it was a hit with the fans, they decided to do two sequels to 365 Days. Now, according to reports, they filmed the sequels simultaneously. So in April, they released the first sequel, 365 Days This Day, and then after it was released, they mentioned that the next film was going to be released on August 19th. So I am doing a movie review for the third and final installment of the 365 Days trilogy. So I wasn't planning on doing a movie review, but I've been watching a few movie reviews on YouTube. I've been reading a couple of things that people are saying about 365 Days sequel, and decided to do this movie review because there are things that you have to take into consideration when you're talking about this particular film, The Next 365 Days. Number one, it's a Polish film. It's a European film, okay? It takes place in Italy, but it's bilingual, okay? Part of the movie is in Polish, part of the movie is in English. So it's basically a European film. So European filmmakers don't make films the way Hollywood makes films. And I've seen enough European films to know. So that's number one. Number two, you also have to consider what who is this film for? What audience are they targeting? And so when it comes to, like, male movie critics who put their spin on things, it's kind of like, okay, this movie is not for you. As this the next 365 days and the entire 365 days trilogy is not for guys. It's for straight women. So if you are a straight woman, you're probably going to enjoy this trilogy more so than a guy. Okay? So just keep that in mind. Those two things. Number one, it's a European film. And number two, the movie is for straight women. Okay, so here we go. Um, what's my grade for this film? Well, uh, um, is it the worst film ever made? I keep hearing that all the time about how it's so bad and it's this and it's that. It's not the worst film ever made. As a matter of fact, I know the worst film that's ever been made, and it's called The Room. And if you want more information on it, you can probably go to my Facebook page and look it up. I wrote an essay about that film. That is the worst film of all time. So in my opinion, The Next 365 Days is a better film than The Room. Okay, so it's not the worst film of all time. Now, if you want to say that it's the worst film of the year, I can buy that. Yeah, it's pretty bad because there's little to no plot, and it's not for everybody. So yes, it I can say that, yeah, it could be one of the worst films of the year. But at the same time, like I said, it's for straight women. It's popcorn. It's junk food. Okay, sometimes you don't want a healthy meal. You just want junk food. Okay, you want cheese doodles and potato chips. So for me, the next 365 days is junk food. It's potato chips, it's cheese doodles. That's what it is. And you wash it down with soda, which is basically sugar. So that's what that movie is. That movie is junk food. So I hate to say this, but I'm gonna have to, you know, give it to, give credit where credit is due. And I'm gonna give this 1 star, not 0 stars, 1 star. And the reason why I'm giving it at least 1 star is because number one, the cinematography is really good. The sex scenes were shot very well. The acting is not bad. Okay. Nothing really happens in the first film. And then comes the first sequel, which was 365 Days This Day, which came out in April. And basically, what they decided to do was like turn the story into a bit of a soap opera where Laura and Massimo gets married in the beginning of the film. And, they're in their honeymoon phase. And little does Laura know, Massimo tells her that he has a twin brother. They don't talk, they don't get along. At the same time, his ex-girlfriend wants him back. And then here comes Nacho the gardener, who is not really a gardener. And that is played by Simon Susina. I'm probably pronouncing his name incorrectly. Sorry. But Nacho, makes things more complicated for Laura. And during the film, they strike up a friendship. And at the end, she realizes that, you know what, you're hiding something from me. What is it? And you find out at the end of the film that Nacho is the member of the mafia who is a rival to Massimo's mafia that he belongs to. So at the end of the film, Massimo's ex-girlfriend and his twin brother tries to kill Laura and kill Massimo. And there is basically a shootout between Massimo, his twin brother, his ex-girlfriend, Laura, and Nacho. And that's how they ended. This time, there's not much of a plot going on. It's basically Laura trying to get over Nacho, and her marriage with Massimo is on the rocks. And at some point in the film, she decides to forget her marital problems and focus on her fashion designing career. And later on in the film, she reunites with Nacho. They sleep together. And at the end of the film, she explains that, she's thinking about getting a divorce. But the final scene is when they're on the beach and Laura and Massimo are talking, and he asks her, well, are you coming back? Are we going to patch things up? And she doesn't give him an answer. And the movie ends like that. So, again, going back to European films, I've watched quite a few of them, and I can tell you that sometimes European filmmakers don't make a movie with a closed ending where you know what is going on. It's basically like there's not only is there a question mark at the end of the film, but it's kind of like the movie tends to feel like a snapshot of what's going on. So, you see that there is something going on prior to the film, and then you see that there's something going on after the last shot. Some people are thinking that there's going to be a fourth 365 days. From what I'm reading, there is no fourth movie. There is no fourth book. And they shot both sequels simultaneously. So when they released the second film in April, they would have said, oh, we shot 3 sequels back to back. That's not what they said. They said that they shot 2 sequels back to back. So, I would assume that the trilogy is over. So the question that everybody is frustrated with is, did Laura go back to Massimo? Or is Laura going to divorce Massimo and, have a relationship with Nacho? Is she going to take up, is she going to take Nacho's invitation? Because at some point in the film, he does say, I am willing to wait for you for as long as it takes because I'm in love with you. Okay, so he's falling in love. And there is a scene where she visits her parents and she admits to her parents that she's in love with Nacho. So even though she's contemplating divorce and she's in love with Nacho, because she doesn't say definitely at the end of the film what she's going to do, everybody is just wondering what the hell is going on. And why would they, end it on a cliffhanger again? So it seems as though that this is the end. If they make a fourth movie, I would not be surprised. But don't be surprised if that is really the end of the trilogy, and they're going to keep it as a trilogy because, quite frankly, it's a soap opera kind of trilogy. It really doesn't need a fourth film. I don't mean to go on a tangent or anything, but people do complain about the soft porn in the films, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that because, quite frankly, the porn industry, the adult entertainment industry, is a multi-billion-dollar industry. I think they make more money than Hollywood does. Okay, and at one point I read somewhere that 37% of the internet consists of porn. We're talking about World Wide Web. Okay. If you get your eyes on a few free porno sites, okay, a lot of the porn out there is not for straight women, okay? It's for everybody else except straight women, okay? So, yeah, like these erotic films like 365 Days Trilogy, yeah, that's for straight women like us, okay? There is a story. There's not much of a plot, but there is a story, okay? And like I said, it's junk food. So for 2 hours, you get a good serving of junk food and you have fun, and when the movie is over, the movie is over. Okay? First of all, the guys who play Massimo and Nacho are absolutely gorgeous, okay? I mean, like, that's just beautiful eye candy right there. And Massimo's personality is different from Nacho's personality, so I actually am on Team Nacho, where I hope that after the movie is over, Laura wises up, divorces Massimo, and she gets with Nacho because Nacho has a calmer personality. He's not controlling. He seems to be it seems as though that if you're in a relationship with Nacho, you're going to be in a healthier relationship with him than with Massimo. Okay, Massimo has a bit of a short fuse, which is something that I don't like. I don't like his temper, and I don't like his controlling ways. After watching the second and third films, I don't even want to watch the first film anymore because Nacho isn't in it. So I hope that you guys take what I'm saying into consideration, and trust me, it is not the worst film ever, okay? I've seen worse. Take care, and I will see you next time in the next movie review.